I'm called Aluma Innocent. I've been using drugs for 8 years.
Okay, what type of drugs do you use?
Cocaine, heroin, marijuana, brown sugar, mairungi, kuba, mirage, and cigarettes. And Niesta. Niesta is what we call jet fuel.
At what point did you start using these drugs?
I began doing it when I was 12 years old.
The scourge of drug abuse has come over Uganda like a dark cloud. Police reports have it that Uganda was simply a conduit for drugs, but now it has become a destination. Many families suffer in silence as sons and daughters get hooked on the now popular narcotic drugs. At the tender age of 12 years, Innocent started using and abusing hardcore drugs like cocaine. He was lured into the trap by school bullies who promised him commission on whatever he sold. Little did he know that what seemed like relative gain would end up as a great loss in the end.
Okay, like in the beginning, like for cocaine, I began just by selling. The big boys would give me and they would tell me, you're going to get a commission. And I was broke at school, I wanted some money. But then there were these people who you would sell to and they would tell you, how sure am I that you're not selling me Johnson powder? You know, Johnson baby powder is also white, same color as cocaine. So they would be like, how sure am I that you're not selling me Johnson? Test it yourself. So I would have tested myself. And after testing it myself, I would feel some kind of relaxation. And I would always want that feeling again. I would be like, I want to feel that thing again. Yeah. I had this thing that I could control it. I wouldn't be a drug addict like most of them. But I ended up becoming one of them.
Uganda as a country, it never used to have these hard stuff drugs. When I talk of hard stuff drugs, I mean the cocaine, the heroin, the methamphetamines. These are drugs that are imported in the country. For us in Uganda, we used to have one type of narcotic drugs, which is marijuana or cannabis.
What would you say about drugs in school?
It's too common. It's very common in school. Yeah, it's too much.
Okay, and how do these drugs get in?
I mean, we escape. At times we used to deal with the Askaris themselves. Yeah, and escaping is the main thing. It's very easy to escape from any school. I've been in 9 schools, but in all of them I would always escape. However hard the rules are, there is always a possibility of breaking them.
The Narcotics and Psychotropic Substance Control Bill of 2007 seeks to criminalize narcotic drug-related offenses and prescribe heavy penalties on offenders. This law, if passed, will also demand a certain amount of responsibility from the community by penalizing interested parties like landlords. If a landlord is proven to have had prior knowledge of narcotics drug dealer on his premises, then he too can be prosecuted in the courts of law. Unfortunately, this law is yet to be passed by Parliament, and police is clear in their frustrations.
You are arrested, for example, like in China. You are convicted of being in possession of drugs, or trafficking in drugs. The sentence, the maximum sentence is death. You are hanged. Or you are put in prison for life. That is life imprisonment. But in Uganda here, you find someone has been arrested with drugs worth billions of money. It's just only fined like 10,000, 1 million shillings or less. Custodial sentence not exceeding 12 months. Now, how do you expect someone who has been sentenced to 500,000 shillings on the drugs worth maybe 500 million shillings to stop the deal?
That's what we are working on. Get the law passed to empower the police to do their work effectively.
How much did these drugs cost?
Cocaine is 7,000 a paper. Yeah, then brown sugar, that one is 2,500. Depends on the place. Some people sell it at 3,000.
And where would you get these drugs? Where would you buy them?
Mainly in Kisenyi, even my home area, Namgongo, where I would stay. Yeah. Kabalagala, Entebbe, Ntinda.
The local calls for establishment of a body that will be in charge of managing, first of all, the offenders. Secondly, putting up a fund. For example, if you arrest someone trafficking drugs, if those drugs have market value and they can be converted into cash, that money be deposited on that money. It is used in either rehabilitation or putting up some infrastructure. Then also penalizing transporters, growers, consumers. Even if they called us, they gave us space today that we are presenting this law, this report. Members are eager and anxious to debate and ensure that they pass this law.
I've been expelled from 9 schools. Right now I'm a candidate in senior 6, but I'm meant to go to the 10th school. Yeah. And then my veins are like broken down. I have scars like all over. Veins are hard. Even my legs have scars from injecting. My lips are black. Yeah. And then I lack sleep usually when I don't take them. I'm trying to get off them, but I get problems of sleeping.
At LDO, most of our patients are males. Sometimes we get some few females, but this doesn't mean that females don't abuse drugs. But the reason I think is females usually shy away from treatment, but I believe there must be a bigger number outside there. Then in terms of the social class, most of our patients are coming from the middle and a high social class. And then most of them are students from either the university or have just completed the university. And then, of course, others are very few are from those lower families. And most of our patients are educated. When you come here, you may think we don't know another language, you only know English, because most of them are educated people. Yes, and the youth.
While the debate presses on between the legislators, the fate of drug abuse victims like Innocent and others like him presses on as well. Narcotic drugs are any class of addictive substances that blunt the senses and in increasing doses cause confusion, stupor, coma, and death. However, some are used in medicine to relieve major pain or induce anesthesia. Prolonged use of such drugs causes addiction. However young or old, male or female, narcotic drugs are not selective. Drug abuse is a disease that not only affects the individual using the drug, but also the family members, community, and eventually the country at large. Innocent is only 20 years old and the last born of the family, but because of drug abuse, he has been alienated from his entire family.
At the time I chased my sister around the house with a panga, then she got scared. She was like, this boy is dangerous, I can't stay here anymore. Shifted. The other one, she's in hostel, but she can't invite me to her hostel. She's scared of my behaviors. Even mom herself keeps telling everyone that, you know what, the day I die, it will be this boy that has killed me. It stresses me. Yeah. My mom left me, sister left me, brother left me. Because of the thing. Same thing. They don't have anything to do with me because they know when I'm near them, I'll steal their things to buy my drugs. I mean, that was all back then, but right now I think I'm changed.
Some of these people are lacking the parenting. Many parents are too busy that they don't have time for their children. So these children are being parented by the community, the fellow youth, not the parents. And then others, you find that that age of the youth age is really challenging. And as I said, since the parents are not there to guide them, the other youth will guide them. They will learn things from the internet, from where.
Drug abuse has been a well-kept public secret in Uganda. The problem grows gradually, and by the time relatives get to know, victims are already hooked, and the long, winding road to recovery is all that is left. Some never recover and lose their lives in the process of abusing drugs. Most of the time, parents and relatives are unaware of the available treatment center or are simply too ashamed to get the much-needed help. Dr. David Basangwa, the Executive Director of Butabika National Referral Hospital, dates the problem of drug abuse to as early as the late 90s, when an outpatient clinic was opened at the Hospital for General Health Services. So, in 2001, during the remodeling of Butabika Hospital, a new unit was constructed, the Alcohol and Drugs Unit, to cater for the increasing number of addiction patients. The hospital's newly constructed Drugs and Alcohol Unit has a capacity to only house 30 patients at a go. However, close to 100 are treated as outpatients, and the need is ever increasing.
At first we are seeing people who were abusing more of the alcohol, marijuana, tobacco, but now people are abusing the hard stuff. We are getting more numbers abusing the hard stuff, and people abusing multiple substances. These days it's rare to get a patient who has only one substance being abused. Most of them are abusing more than one. And even things that we had never heard of in the beginning. Things like Kuba, I don't know whether it is modernized marijuana, Mirage, those things used not to be there. Then the shisha, we don't know what they put there.
So, Innocent, how long have you been in Butabika?
Today makes 7 weeks.
7 weeks.
Yeah.
And how has your experience been so far?
Yeah, here is okay. It's fine, and they're rehabilitating us well. They talk to us well. Yeah.
And how have the medicine or the treatment affected you?
Treatment is working fine. In the first week, I had problems with withdrawal, but after that, the symptoms went away, and I'm now doing better. I'm doing fine.
What happens with withdrawal?
That's when you're in that situation that you want the drug, but you don't have it, the one that you used to do. So the medicine they give us fights those symptoms. But still it was there. Like my stomach was paining, my head would pain, I would get dizzy. Yeah, but that was in the first week. But I'm happy right now, I'm faring. Yes.
Because sometimes you see a patient you're telling I don't have space, really needs help. But because this ward doesn't have floor cases, once the 24 beds are full, that's enough. So it really hurts you as a therapist, knowing that this person I'm sending really would remain here.
So what is a typical day like in Butabika Hospital?
Wake up early in the morning, take medicine, have breakfast, go for session at 10 o'clock for 2 hours. Then we have lunch like at 1 or 2. Watch TV the whole day up to around like 5 or 5:30. That's when they bring our supper. We have supper, then those who have medication at that time, at 5. They take their medicine at 5. After that, watch TV again if you want, or go and be on your bed if you want. Yeah, then there is a last dose of medicine at night for those who take at night. So all have different times of taking medicine. Not everyone takes at night. Yeah.
This kind of problem requires the support of everybody, of every sector. It's not only something that probably health can address alone. Because like when it comes to prevention, we need support of everybody, legislators, business people, religious people, school teachers, and so on and so forth, so that we all get together to pass the message that drugs are dangerous and that people should not start at all using them.
Two things are evident. Narcotic drugs have taken root in Uganda, and the youth make up the biggest number of victims. No school can be made entirely secure, and no neighborhood is immune. However, aside from Butabika Hospital, other stakeholders like the Straight Talk Foundation, whose mission is improving the sexual and reproductive health and well-being of young people through advocacy, have come in to root out the cause of drug abuse, beginning with alcohol abuse.
Yeah, the Red Card campaign is a pilot project. And it is red card because we don't want to see any more underage drinking. So we want to give a red card. Red card is normally used in football. So we want to give a red card to underage drinking. What is underage drinking? For now, it is below 18. If you're below 18, you don't have to use alcohol. So as Straight Talk Foundation, the masters of behavior change communication, we want to communicate to the parents, the teachers, the community members, the young people themselves, and try and tell them you don't have to use alcohol. We want to empower the young people with skills of rejecting using alcohol, with skills of managing effects as a result of alcohol.
This program is called the Red Card. The Red Card? The Red Card campaign. The purpose of this program is to make sure that many young people like you get to understand that alcohol is not good if you are below 18. Okay? When you take alcohol, alcohol has a substance called ethanol. Okay? Ethanol is a very strong substance. It can give you a disease of the brain. Okay? And it goes to your brain and forces you to take more and more alcohol. When you get addicted to alcohol, it means you are sick. Addiction is sickness of the brain. So the Red Card campaign is to try and make sure that we work together as young people to make sure that we discourage other young people who are drinking alcohol, because we want them to be safe. We want them to grow up safe. We want them to concentrate on their education. When your brain gets damaged, you need to go for rehabilitation. Rehabilitation for you will take place at Butabika. That is the government facility where you have to go and get counseling and rehabilitation such that your brain comes back to normal after it has been destroyed by alcohol.